Another fantastic day. Here is Atlantean Gatekeeper and I am your host, Stefan Palczewski. Welcome to today's presentation. Today the presentation is divided into three main parts. One of them is about our political landscape in Canada. The second one is about this whole prophecy is about the new Pope. And the third part is about the missing children in Nova Scotia, Lily and Jack Sullivan. One quick note, don't be discouraged that if you don't see me for another week or two, the situation should improve in about 1 month. I am being preoccupied with something really important. It takes a lot of my time, but it's coming to an end. So my plan is to make at least 2 episodes a week. So to make you happy, and we are going to switch gears. We are going to start looking into the metaphysics, so you can better understand how to set up your life currently to have meaningful life without investing money. The only thing you need to invest is a little bit of your time. All right, let's begin. In Canadian politics, we have 3 main players right now on the scene, which is Mark Carney, Pierre Poilievre, and Danielle Smith. Mark Carney turns out that is our new Prime Minister. It was a rocky road for him to get there, and the conspiracies, the suspicion, the speculations are not over. There is a lot of stuff going on internet claiming that this election was rigged, that this election was stolen. I am not interested in that at all. For now, we have government which is probably minority government, and we are already having some problems. But the situation is reflecting the mental state of all Canadians. However, as you can see everywhere in the world, there are some kind of issues. It doesn't matter which country it is, including in my home country, Poland, the same situation. Right now, Polish government is involved in something that they should not be. In Ukraine, that they should stay away because that's not their war. They should not fight for Ukrainians. This situation can be resolved in peaceful way. Anyway, let's go back to Canadians. I voted personally for Pierre, not because he has some fantastic idea how to lead the country into something amazing. It was because I wanted Ottawa, this whole nonsense over there, to be redesigned, to be shaken, to be broken apart, because those deals, some of the people should not be there. There are 10 years and this whole thing is so corrupt that it's not worth saving. However, that didn't happen. So what's next? Danielle Smith is already frustrated that that province and their resources are being used as a cash machine for everybody else. And they do not have much support from the federal government with the issues that they are facing. As you know, that the western part of Canada is tormented by a high rate of crime. The number of gangs over there is scary. The number of crime committed daily is really scary. Now, thanks to the regime of the Liberals and Trudeau's government, we have the same situation in GTA as well. Danielle does not want to leave Canada. In Alberta, understand that leaving the unity of Canada is leaving them very vulnerable. Any hyenas will come and take their resources and leave them penniless, because if they go join the US, that's what will happen. They are gonna have massive environmental destruction. They are going to have a massive financial destruction. They are gonna rip them off, and Alberta is not going to have anything out of it. Same thing applies to BC, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan. Somewhere around 1990, I received this very strange vision that Canadians are being divided into territories, not provinces, but territories. That was a long time ago, and I forgot about that, and I didn't want to even bring that to your attention. However, this is coming up, and I remember Daniel Brinkley talking about that, and then I remember the recent vision that was given to me what is happening in Canada. So I'm going to present to you as it happened. All those elements of that are symbolic, and you can interpret them in any way you want. Out of Quebec, I was shown a map of Canada. Out of Quebec, there is rising a small tornado-like swirl. Upon closer look, it isn't a tornado, it is simply a spiral, which is at first very small, but then it's getting bigger and wider, and it's growing and growing and growing to a massive spiral that covers the whole country. What I deducted from this, that either the Quebec is where some idea is going to arise, or some process is going to arise, or some event is going to take place that is going to influence the whole process in Canada. Is Western Canada going to leave? They are so jittered, they are so manipulated right now by separatists that it is highly likely that they will. As I said, smart people, including Daniel Smith, they do understand that leaving Canada is a really bad idea. They are using this only as a scare tactics to bring the federal government to the table and negotiate something useful for them, because right now they are treated like crap, and this has to end it. Stephen Harper brought a lot of damage to the West. Voting for Pierre was the chance that he could bring back the part of Western Canada into Ottawa and redesign the system and start something fresh. However, that didn't happen, so now we have to look at different options. And the options are, according to my teachers and the masters, Canadians have very unusual and interesting option. As I mentioned, I saw Canada broken into territories. There are 3 to be exact, and they are forming federation. That federation, the central part of that, it is like a government, but has no power as the federal government used to have. The bureaucratic expenses are cut almost by 3/4 because they are unnecessary. The federal government under Trudeau regime was growing and growing and growing. The expenses were growing and growing and growing, doing absolutely nothing. And that needs to be cut down to almost zero. We cannot afford to spend money on nonsense. As a federation, all those 3 independent and autonomous regions or territories will have one military where is going to protect their borders, one passport, and one monetary system. At first, this may not be very easy to do. I am sure there is going to be a huge resistance. I am sure there is going to be a lot of separatists involvement. There are going to be forces that are going to try to sabotage this whole thing. But when someone is going to be in the leading position, presenting the right ideas to the population of Canada and sounding convincing ideas that make sense, this project can move forward. Do we have people like that? I can tell you right now what is being shown, that Mark Carney could do that. However, he is surrounded with not so smart people. Unfortunately, at very little problem, they will ditch him. They will go against him. In fact, I think they are already, some of them, not very happy with him, which is not a good sign. So what next? The next is going to unfold sometimes in October. I am not sure what that is, but what they are saying that in October there is a new player coming to the scene. Who it is, what it is, I have no idea. So we need to be patient and we need to wait for that, what is going to transpire. So what next? This may sound really strange, but Canadians are in the best position right now to redesign the system completely. Up to now, for the past 250 years, not only in US but also in Canada, the system got worn out, torn out, and it's corrupted to such a degree that is not worth fixing. Now it's time to invent something new, something that is working for everyone. The system is not serving either the corporate world, the oligarchs, and not serving average person at all. It's just simply something that is going to explode, is going to be, if not taken care of right now, it may end up very violent. It may end with domestic war, and we do not want to go that far. So we have a new Pope, Leo XIV, an opportunity for new speculations, suspicions, conspiracies, and lots of material on YouTube. It's an opportunity for people that are thriving, inventing stories like there is no tomorrow. But let's take a closer look at what is happening here. According to some of these prophecies, he is the last Pope. There is not going to be any other afterwards. Is Catholic Church actually in line with those prophecies? Is the Vatican paying any attention to what is being said, how the names were drafted? According to one of those prophecies, this is the Peter the Roman. So let's take a closer look at what name he chose for himself. He chose the name for himself, Leo XIV. Is there anything that we can already decode how much Vatican is embedded in esoteric science and metaphysics and parapsychology and all the other stuff like astrology? And yes, it is, since that date was influencing not only his name but also the number, the number 14. And how would that happen? So here is very simple. The date that they chose to do that is no coincidental. It was planned very precisely, because when you add 5 and 7, May the 7th, you have 12. And they already, according to the prophecy, knew that this Pope is going to be the last one. Number 12 represents 12 apostles. The 12 apostles, the number 12 represents the last one. But also, according to esoteric science, the last is always the first. So who is the first? The first is the Peter. Peter was the most important apostle from all of them. We know that there is a famous saying where Peter is the cornerstone of my church. I believe Jesus said that. But is there anything else inside of that? How this number 14 was accomplished? That's very simple. When we add number 7, the 7th day of the month, and the last two digits of the year, which is 25, 2 and 5 is also 7. And when you add those two numbers, you have number 14. So mystery solved. The number 14, we know where it's coming from. Now, what about the Leo? According to prophecies, is this the Peter the Roman? So someone who is going to be in that position needs to be someone who has all those elements in that name, or is to represent the place of the birth or some kind of place where they are coming from that relates to empire and to the Peter name. As we know, the Pope is coming from US. US is empire of the world. They are ruling everything. However, the empire is already collapsing. So, well, we know that according to prophecy, the Pope is last, the empire is collapsing. But what about the Leo? The Leo is also representing the power. Lion is something that is a king of all animals. It is undisputed power. No one should ever question that, because it's going to be eaten. So this gentleman chose the name Leo because he wants to roar over the church. He wants to unite everything, because church is divided into many fractions. Many conflicting ideologies are floating up there, and he wants to put an end to that. Therefore, the name Leo, which is related to lion, as I already mentioned. So now I hope this is very entertaining for you. You please don't take that very seriously, what I just said. However, many of the YouTube channels and other content creators, they will use that as a springboard. Many of the YouTube channels that are looking for interesting ideas, they will use that as a springboard for further inventing conspiracies, suspicions, and all alike to just make the content more appealing to people. And people are suckers for this kind of stuff. The deceased Pope already initiated changes in Catholic Church, because after Lucy died, he had the opportunity to read that note that she wrote, what happened in Fatima. When he realized that the Catholic Church is actually in big trouble, he started making changes, positive changes. However, not every follower is very keen to what he started doing. Leo is planning to do even more. And I do know what happened in Fatima, quite in details, but I am not going to reveal that yet. I am just waiting for the Catholic Church to come clean, because it is possible that they will, in small doses, start revealing what actually happened over there. Leo knows that Lucy was unnecessarily kept prisoner because she was forced to be nun and she had no chance to be free from there. She was constantly under supervision of few nuns that were bodyguards for her, and she was permanently stuck with that covenant there. It might be, on one hand, negative that her freedom was restricted, but on the other hand, it is possible that she could peacefully live to the end of her life where she was not disturbed, because many people on the outside would really exploit what she knew, and who knows how this whole situation would end up. And so what's in store for Catholic Church under the regime of the new Pope? There are dark clouds coming in, very dark clouds, and this is probably their final moments. And I am not saying this as in a form as negativity, as wishing them something bad to happen. We need to understand that every structure, every creation, every form comes to an end. This is part of life. Every institution at some point collapses. Every system at some point collapses. Every philosophy at some point collapses. Every living organism dies, makes way for new ones. And the same situation is with Catholic Church, with Muslims, with Hindus, with Buddhism, with any other religion, any cult, any philosophies. They will come to an end. This is absolutely necessary to give away for something new. Now let's take a look at the situation with Lily and Jack Sullivan. Those are two young kids. She is 6, he is 4, that disappeared in Nova Scotia about 2 weeks ago. They are missing, and the hopes for finding them alive are diminishing. Although you should not read too much into it, because it is possible that they are alive. I cannot really tell you exactly what I know, because not only that would influence a lot, since the investigation is undergoing, and I don't want to be the voice that, oh, see, he said already that this and that happened. There are many channels which are using the situation and exploiting the situation, trashing parents, speculating what happened, speculating when and how they are going to find their bodies and what's not. It's all garbage. The only thing you can do right now as a person, be positive, thinking about those children as safe kids. They are happy, they are playful, they are enjoying their life, they are together, and they are safe. That's your job and mine. That's the only thing we need to do. Of course, not everyone is going to do that, not everyone is on the same page. But I'm going to tell you my episode, what happened a few days ago. I seen them both. It was fantastic scene. I woke up in the middle of meadow, beautiful flowers and the birds chirping and the warm breeze, and I didn't want to wake up. I wanted to stay there forever. And then I see those two cute kids walking from my right to the left, and they both holding hands. She's the big sister. She's beautiful. She's like a mother to him. She is like the hero sister that every brother should have. Those kids are holding hands. They are walking through that meadow, and I noticed that the kid, the boy Jack, is a little bit anxious or maybe scared, and she is encouraging him. Come, let's move. We need to go over there, and everything is going to be fine. Everything is going to be fine. She is giving him hope. She's trying to keep him forget the situation. She's helping him to be positive, because don't read too much into that. I don't want you to think of this as a done fact, as a already over, because it may not be. As I already mentioned a few minutes ago, it is all those elements in those visions. They are only symbols. They represent something. And I know that from what I see, it is that she is the big sister for him, looking after him of every step they go together. She wants to make sure that this little brother of hers feels safe and secure. Wherever they are going to get in one piece. I also noticed that there were other beings around that. They were very curious. They were paying attention to what the situation and how that situation is unfolding. If this was the final moment, you need to understand that because of our awareness, the expanded awareness that we have, we cannot interfere. We need some process that each individual, each soul, each being is undertaking, takes that natural path, that it runs to the end as it was planned. We cannot interfere. We can only watch from a distance, observe, and be of assistance if necessary. But other than that, we absolutely have no business interfering unless it's really necessary. So from that, what I know, it's they are both in good hands. They are safe. They are sound. There is no need for panic. I want you, the people that are listening and watching this, to be very positive and see the same scene as I did, and having the same attitude, the same mental view on that situation as I do. They are safe. In watching some of the footage on YouTube, many channels are making right now lots of material about that. In one of that episode, one of them is presenting a painting of the girl, which it's on that drawing. She makes a line where it says, "I love my mom." This is important. Remember that children at this age, no matter what happened, how much the situation would be really terrible, they never hate their parents, because the process that they are going through, they already knew from the beginning when they were born that they will face that. And those are clues where when a child writes something like that, it says to the parent, "I don't hate you, I love you." So this part is very important. This is something that not many people are trying to understand that, because many of those which are watching this or are listening, and they will find out what happened, they are going to have very negative thoughts. They would kill the parents, they would do damage to the parents, they would hurt the parents, they would torture the parents. Don't lower yourself to that level. It's not necessary, and it's not helping anyone. A person who is hating and imagining doing some torture or hurt to another person is making attachment to that situation, and that may come back to the person that is thinking this way and physically hurt them. You don't want to be in that position. But if for some reason temporarily, because we are all humans, we are driven by emotions, and we can, after a while, when you calm down, go back to the situation when you were imagining doing something stupid to those people. Revise that. Just give them a hug, tell them, okay, everything is gonna be fine. I know this was planned. I know that this is very emotional. I know that this is something that no parent should go through. It happened. You are gonna be okay. That's all there is to it. Show the human side. Be human. And now, in conclusion, I want you to understand and know that your current situation, whatever it is, good, bad, and in between, is because of what you are thinking about all day. It is because of what you were thinking 2 years ago, 10 years, 20 years ago. Those are the fruits of what is happening in front of you. You have control over that. You can change those things. Don't be negative about Mark Carney. If you are, for example, someone who was supporting Pierre, do not hate Pierre because it happens. You don't like him. Just look for solutions. See how you would want your world to run, how you would like your world to be. Don't spread rumors about Danielle Smith, because there are so many channels that are trashing that woman. Like, it's not necessary, because that trashing is coming to you, and some of the channels, sometimes they don't understand. They are shut down, they are being sued, the people which are running those shows, they are getting involved in some terrible things. Those are the effects. You are seeding stuff. When you are seeding a poison, then you eventually are going to eat that poison. And I am smart enough, after so many years on this earth, that I understand that. And since I understand that, that's why I am sharing those things with you. Same thing, no matter what the outcome of the search for those children is going to be. Remember, you can greatly help the search. You can greatly improve the situation, not only for the kids, but for the parents. How to do that? Just imagine, just make up some scene which is pure imagination. It's coming from your imagination only. How they are reunited, how they are happy, how they are playing some kind of game, they are playing ball, they are throwing frisbees and whatever. Just make happy family reunion. That will help not only to speed up the process of finding them, but it's also is going to dissolve all the negative stuff that is surrounded this whole thing. That is important. And believe me, whatever you seed there, it comes to you. And there is a saying, I know you heard that many times, whatever you have done unto them is going to be done unto you. And with that thought, I am leaving you until next episode, and we are going to revisit this whole polar reversal, the doomsday. See you.